Did you miss me? Good evening and welcome to Macon's Minute. I am your host, Tony Anthony Macon, here to entertain and somewhat enlighten you. Back by popular demand, off of hiatus. Let's get rocking. You know how I do. Oh, man, I appreciate the love for the people that reached out and wanted me to get back into doing Macon's Minute. I'm here. It feels good to be wanted, and I thank you. There are some people who did reach out, and it was niggas I didn't know just reaching out on some old like, hey man, won't you talk about this? Why you ain't talked about this yet? We ain't see you do a show. Blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, nigga. All right, nigga. Well, cash at me, nigga. I be having shit to do. I got a life. Got a life. You know? Shit, nigga. Give me some money if you want me to talk about a certain subject. Cash App. Bow. $. Barcode 300. I do this for the love. I do it for fun. But if you want to rush me, pay me. And if you want to donate, listen, I know a lot of people always talk about people asking for donations, but one of the funniest things about donating is that no one ever asks. And I was just about to talk about how we have a new president-elect, Joe Biden. No one ever asks why the rich ask for donations. They just get mad at the broke motherfuckers for asking for donations, when the broke motherfuckers are the ones who need it. No one ever questions the rich. Like, motherfucker will pay top dollar for someone they want to hear on XM radio. They'll pay that monthly subscription. They'll put money on a campaign and not even research the candidate. The Rockefellers used to take donations. Look it up. We'll give to the rich with no problem. But fuck you broke niggas. I donate when I can to certain YouTubers. I be feeling their content, man. If they ask for donations, boom. Listen, I do this for the fun. Do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm still gonna do it without it, regardless. But hey, listen, I'm also, I will take a couple. That does not mean I don't want to scare anyone away, because I've watched shows before where it's just like niggas just come on and that's the first thing they talk about, and boom, here I am, first thing I'm fucking talking about. You won't hear me talk about it often. It's not really something I talk about on my channel often at all. I have received cash apps in here, and it was dope. Bought me a Wendy's value meal with it the first time I ever received one. It was $6 and some odd change, and went and got Wendy's. 4 for 4. I haven't done a show in a while where I've been drinking, and Don Julio is in the building today. Put some niggas up on this summer. They will ask some people who wasn't on tequila what made them start drinking that Blanco. Me, I made them start drinking that Blanco. One reason is because Anejo became a little overpriced. Salute to the unemployment benefits that was getting niggas through. A salute to them niggas who was using it on liquor to get by through this pandemic. Whatever your vice is, I do not blame you. Do your thing. All I know is I'm upset because you niggas made Anejo go way higher than what it needed to be. Yeah, you did. Anyway, let's get into some topics, man. Now, listen, I got a few things I want to talk about. I'm not gonna go too long today, but at the same time, I should, right? I gotta run my mouth. Like I said, we have a new president, President-elect Joe Biden. I really don't have no thoughts. Like I said, prior to the election, I spoke about not voting. I had a change of heart. Not saying if I voted for Biden, Trump, or any type of other party, but I did make it to the voting booth. Definitely there was some things on there nationally and locally that sparked my interest. And I can't say that I've set out an election. I haven't. I'm always usually there, but, you know, definitely wasn't filling the candidates again, as I was last time an election rolled around. But right now we have Biden in office. And I don't know, man. I would just like another 1,200. I mean, it's been, what, 9 months since we got 1,200? I mean, that's what we were supposed to just, like, 1,200 was supposed to last us that long? That goofy nigga might have actually got reelected had he dropped more than 1,200. Or had he dropped another, like, or had he dropped 5,000 on niggas before the election. Just don't know how that would have affected. Like, hey, I'm going to give you guys 5,000 now, and you reelect me, I'll give you another 5,000. You pay up and drop us 5,000. Niggas can be bought. Not saying I can, but I know niggas can be bought. It could have been really simple. But I don't be talking about politics like that no more on here, man. Y'all don't want to hear me talk about politics, you know. So I don't really be spewing it like that anymore. But let's talk about other things. Well, I was gonna say one thing about politics. The vaccine. Are you taking it? Will you be injected? Whatever they're passing along. Do you know that Donald Trump said himself in the White House will be amongst the last to take it? Do you really want to wait to take it after, or before Cobra Commander does? What would make that nigga wait? Did he already have the vaccine and he just, it's just now and that's why he's saying they'll wait? Or is it just they know they about to fuck us up? Who knows? But yeah, moving along. Like I said, no politics. Everything is actually politics, but yet, like, there is the formal politics and then there's the informal politics. In this case, Pornhub. Yes. Are you aware? Did Pornhub interrupt your Monday night? Is it Monday night masturbations or masturbation Mondays? Pornhub removed all content uploaded by unverified uploaders. To be exact, they were at around 13.5 million at the beginning of the day, yesterday, and this morning they were at 4.7 million. That's a lot of motherfucking porn. It was after they lost MasterCard and Visa processing transactions. So MasterCard and Visa say, hey, we ain't fucking with them no more. Really, at that point, like, as far as And it's funny because like I didn't really like. I always saw that there was content to purchase. Well, I'm talking like I be on Pornhub. Nah, well, let me not front. I don't lie on this mic, you know that. But they there was options to pay for stuff, but I didn't know like people were like I always said people were making money, and like you never really just put in your mind like how big MasterCard and Visa just takes away so much because of that. Like this completely changed everything for them. The subscribing to someone and using MasterCard and Visa to do it. Just now it's like, okay, how do we keep our content for the people that actually have paid subscriptions to us? Like it has to be a whole complete like clusterfuck over there right now. I mean, because everything is just going to run out, and now, boom. How do they get their money? It's going to have to be all ad based, which means they turn into like a YouTube or so forth. Visa and MasterCard pulled out because of Pornhub's association with alleged rape, underage porn, revenge porn, stuff of that nature. So you've pulled you've not only had to just like you had to completely just get a control over your site. So the only way you do it is what you just get rid of everything that isn't verified. All verified users are the ones that are left in adult film studios or actresses and so forth. Will you still be looking through the site? I when I heard about it, I was just like, okay, cool. I went to the site, and then like normal stuff you would see just wasn't there. It was just like all this corny shit. When I say corny shit, just like white on white porn, it's corny. Who really be in the mood for that, you know? Like, fuck. I think white people watch white on white. Like even like racist motherfuckers don't watch white on white, right? But like it did look very much so different. And it made you think like, okay, so now like does that like so like now does like the amateur content like get to popping? I haven't watched any porn since like December 1st. I'm going through a whole cleansing of the mental and physical. Just dropped 10 pounds last week. I'm gonna get to flexing on y'all in about a month. I'm gonna come on this boy just out here, guns up, like it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, so like, even though Pornhub wasn't like a top of minds, because like that's another thing I thought about too. Like, does like X videos become popping now? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it had its thing, but like, is it like does that like is that the number one guy now? Was it X Hamster and XNXX? What else is out there? A very low key one and underrated. I don't even know if I want to give this away. Like, I probably only get about 13 people to watch this video, so I can give it away. She'sfreaky.com. Check it out. It's very more so towards the amateur side. It's pretty dope. I heard Tumblr was back. I heard that was back. Like they must have they deleted all theirs and said like no nudity on this site, and then just like everybody stopped going to that site. So they said, you know what, we made a big mistake. We're back. There it is. See, rookie mistakes. I forgot to go into airplane mode. Had a little cutout, a little bit, so you may see a little jump cut. You know, normally I don't do jump cuts. Usually it's just straight through. But anyway, it took me off my square a little bit. But yeah, Pornhub is what it is. In other news, let me see. The rest of this liquor up out here. Yeah, that's how you can tell I haven't drank on camera in a long time. I finished it off. Actually, this is the first drink I had in probably over like 2 weeks. Like, you know, Don Julio is like water, so it doesn't take away from my cleansing my physical. Every now and then you need a little bit of a drink. But yeah, LeVar Ball. He called the Pistons organization raggedy as hell. My nigga LeVar Ball, man. Look, first off, clap it up, LeVar Ball. Whatever you say about that man, he did one thing he told you he was going to do. All three of his sons would play in the NBA. Even though Jello got cut, that's why he called him raggedy as hell. The Pistons organization. Even though he got cut, they all received a contract from an NBA team. They all played in the NBA is what he said they would do, and they did it. Respect that man. Heavy. Maybe Father of the Year award. I mean, I'd rather give my dad Father of the Year award, but like on a celebrity stature, LeVar Ball. Against, like, what's the odd of having all your sons obtain an NBA contract? I mean, outside of Jello's China incident, I was going to say they all stayed out of trouble. I mean, technically he came back. It wasn't like and it was over in another country. So if it happens in another country, kind of don't count. Like I got like a record in Canada, but so it don't count because it's Canada. So like it is what it is. I had an issue here too though, so I'm still a good guy. But you know, anyway, never mind that. But yeah, over in China, it really don't count. China, nah. Let's not bash that man for that happened. It's over with. He got out of that situation unscathed, you know. But they did very well. He raised 3 sons and did very well. Black man. We don't credit the black man enough. We always want to say that they're not around. I don't have a friend that I can say father wasn't around. I know it exists, the deadbeat father. But what I can say is, as far as the friends I've had, really didn't know one to be so, but also didn't know one to be raised by, like didn't without one. So we look past it as if like that's just such the popular thing. But you know, it's a white supremacist talking point, but that's like I said, I stopped doing politics and I stopped putting my kufi on. But LeVar Ball called the Pistons organization raggedy as hell. I'd have to say I agree. What has the Pistons organization done over the past decade that was worth anything? pick up Blake Griffin after injuries. Now this nigga stands up at the top of the key and it's the three ball line like he's LeBron. He actually thinks he's like a point forward. What have we gotten in the past decade out of the Pistons? I mean, I don't, you know, business is business. So when you get rid of a player, you get rid of a player. Is what it is. But I also can't negate the fact that, you know, when someone has a comment to say about an organization, if it's true or not, that was true. It's a raggedy as hell organization. I actually hope to see LaGello somewhere. The thing is I've seen a lot of people just go with the whole, they dog LiAngelo like he was just like, oh, he's trash and blah, blah. But it's like, do y'all hate LeVar Ball that much, or that you really didn't watch his game to know that he has game? It's not like he's a killer, but he can shoot the open jumper. He rebounds. He's a decent ball player. I want to see him do well. Doesn't necessarily have to be with the Pistons, because I don't care for the Pistons my damn self. Like I said, I agree that they're a raggedy as hell organization. But I think people really want to see LeVar wrong and wants to see his son do bad. And I think that is like the wackest thing there could be. And yeah, maybe it just wasn't a good fit here. That's it. Hey, it is what it is. Man, this last topic, I don't even know if I really want to talk about it. Should I? Yeah, fuck it. So recently I had some words with a pastor who shall remain nameless for the sake of this podcast and his image, because that was the whole thing he was trying to uphold. But I made a comment. Someone asked who the guy was, the pastor. He went to school with me. He was younger than me, but he did go to school with other people that I knew. And someone was asking, hey, who is this guy? And I was like, oh, he went to school with us. I made a comment. It was on Facebook. Made a Facebook comment. Hey, he went to school with us. You know, I would have never thought he would have been a pastor. He wasn't necessarily going the righteous path. But, hey, anything can happen. So that comment was passed along and given to him. He inboxed me. Now, when he inboxed me, I looked at it as like, I don't know if like Duke is trying to check me or if like what's the deal? But he asked me, hey, what other path do you know me to be on? And I forgot what it was, like something like buddy or whatever. I really wish I could remember right now, because like for me, the way he said it, just like the way the word wasn't buddy, but it was along those lines. And I was just like, nigga, you trying me? And that was in my mind. So I got a little heated at first. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, it wasn't a righteous path, homeboy. Not the pastor path. That's what I said. Not a pastor, homeboy. And he voice messaged me. He did not want his print to be out there. Pause. He didn't want anyone to see that there was a back and forth. So he sent a voice message, which I would definitely not record. Hey, listen, man, do your thing. And it was the, hey, man, I thought we was grown. It's like you slandering my image, you know, I don't know, I know, I think I know who you are. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way too, because it's like, nigga, don't try to play me. Nigga, you know who I am because you said who I was. Because you know who I know, and you know the same people. So, like, nigga, don't play that game with me. That's not what I do. Like that was upsetting. But he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And, I just feel like, we grown men and, like, I didn't think you would be like that, brother. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. So, I responded. I was like, I ain't trying to hear that shit, Sharif. Listen. Look here, man. I didn't say anything bad about you. I just said you wasn't living a righteous path. You wasn't on the righteous path. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything unless you have demons that you need to fight of your own, that you don't agree with your past, that you're trying to hide. I was like, it could have meant anything. Could have meant you was a fucking fighter. You could have been on the path for that. I mean, it's certain things. It's not like you was just because I told him, I was like, I didn't look at you as if you was some gangbanger or you had a whole bunch of hoes. That wasn't you. You was just goofy as hell. Of course, he didn't respond. 2 weeks later, I run into the young man. And it was crazy because I'm on the phone, really not paying attention. And normally I don't do that. And I was arguing with somebody. And that's why I hate being on the phone when I get out of my car, because I always pay attention to my surroundings for a reason. And boom, he like, hey, what's up, man? I know you. And I'm looking around like, who know me? Like, and then he's like, hey. He's like, it's COVID time. There's masks on. So I really don't see Duke's face. I just see eyes and an extended pound. Now, I know a lot of people. I see a lot of people, and a lot of people just run up to me. They really know me. And they're like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I'm not paying attention. I'm mad. Like, nigga, where's you on, bro? Like, don't call me with this bullshit. And I dapped, and I looked at his face, and I said, nigga, look at you. He was dressed like a pastor who was off work. So I say, nigga. I say, you know what? Nigga, I'll call you back. What up, bro? And he's like, yeah, man, what's up, man? He's like, I know you. You, such and such. I was like, yeah, you know me. And so he goes, well, then, but you don't know me. And I'm like, I do know you. And he's like, but why would you say that about me on the post? And I'm like, because I meant what I said. And he's like, but you don't know who I am. What would I have been instead of a pastor? It wouldn't be a pastor. But like, what would it have been? It wasn't a pastor. But what path ever was it? It wasn't a pastor. But no, like, what path? And then he kind of like stood back and he opened his jacket up a little bit. And that aggression from me just came out hype. Nigga, it wasn't a pastor. And at that moment, I was like, I am about to like get riled up with a pastor for him feeling like I assassinated his character. Now, I could talk about his character, but I won't do that. It's not necessary. However, if you want me to talk about it, just ask me. If you know who I'm talking about, you can just ask me and I'll tell you. But I was like, look, man, you could have been on the path to be anything. Firefighter, police officer, anything but a pastor, homeboy. That was not going to be you at that age. And he's like, I just don't get how you could say that, man. We grow up, things like, you just don't really know me. And I was like, I know what I know. And he's like, and he just said, yeah, man, you know what, man? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, hey, how's such and such? And he asked me about somebody. And I was like, they good. He was like, okay. And I was like, okay, I see where this is going. This is just I'm going to let him be. We going to let each other be, because I can't stand and argue back and forth about something that I've already said enough times. Because if I do, then I'm going to turn up. And I was trying not to turn up. We parted ways. You have a good one. You have a good one. And then I realized, I was like, man, that's crazy. Usually I never, ever try to have words with anyone that there's no real beef. Because that's not no beef. That's swag. Because you can be anywhere and you can be touched. It's not like we walk around with security, right? Like if we had real beef and he was a pastor that I had beef with, I could have put it. And I just said, and that's when I said to myself, I was like, this is whack. This is whack. That's why I was just like, oh, yeah, you got a good one. And I'm walking like, this is whack. Because in my mind, I'm like, woosah. I respect pastors. Real ones. I'll leave it at that. This has been Maker's Minute Comeback. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back later this week with some fire. Hopefully. I'm trying not to take off so long, man. I be on long hiatuses, and I'm gonna try to be consistent. I've always said that. That's why I won't even say. I won't say I'm gonna be consistent, because every time I say that, then I don't be consistent. So, peace.